What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with the final installment of this little Explorer mini-series. And as promised, I have kept Control for last. I've been working on this one a little bit, actually. I mean, it is a very cookie-cutter, like standard kind of untapped.gg deck, but I've been working on playing it. I've played it a lot, and I feel like I've mastered it. So a few things before we jump into that. I've been keeping very much up to date with all of the spoilers. The new set is looking amazing. I'm absolutely pumped for March of the Machine. There's some crazy stuff going on, and that just means, you know, more brewing potential. So this new card type battles seems to add a whole new dimension to the game. Some of them are absolutely busted. I think what I'm going to do is I'll do a full set review once the entire set has been spoiled. So stay tuned for that if it is the kind of thing that you're into. Giant episode of spoiler talk will be coming shortly. Other little bits of news and announcement. Nothing really. So I think without further ado, it's about time that we jump into the last of our Explorer brews, Azorius Control. And like I said, I've been working on this one. The gameplay is starting to feel second nature. So as you can see, very much a control deck. Even those of you who don't play Explorer but have been around since Ikoria will recognize a lot of these cards. We've got a companion, believe it or not, because Kaheera is the one that cares about creature types in your deck, but we don't have any creatures, so it's just kind of like a little freebie. We get to have a Kaheera here on the sideboard. Sometimes in a pinch it's nice to have a 3/2 little cat just standing in the way of your planeswalkers, or, you know, between your planeswalkers and the opponent's creatures. Then we've got a full playset of March of Otherworldly Light. Deals with artifacts, deals with creatures, deals with enchantments. So nice covered there with a card that's in standard right now. We've also got a full playset of Fateful Absence, which is going to be doing creatures and planeswalkers for us. So plenty of white removal that we're used to, and not a huge investment. Where I had to spend the most of my wild cards was on Teferi, Supreme Verdict, and Absorb. I only had, I think, 2 copies of Absorb, and I had no copies of Teferi or Supreme Verdict. So it was a bit of a splurge, which is why I have no mythics, but it's okay. I've gone and bought both you know, bundles for March of the Machine, so I shouldn't have any trouble. Also got a good bit of gold saved up. But having played it now for a while, I'm starting to think I want another copy of Dovin's Veto, and I can't bring myself to cut Jwari Disruption because we've got 24 lands. But if you include the dual face lands from Zendikar Rising, then Jwari brings that to 28 with the full playset. But Dovin's been amazing. Can't be counted. Amazing. Especially in the mirror, and there's been a few of those. So I'm thinking if there's any BrewLabification I'll make during tonight's gameplay footage is to cut one Jwari and put in an extra Dovin's Veto. And we've got a little cheap counterspell. This one, I mean, it's kind of like, it's exactly like Jwari, unless the opponent pays 1, right? But this one's got cycling. So when it comes to that time in the late game when it's useless, you just cycle it and draw a new card. So, probably a good idea to keep that one from the untapped. Absorb, amazing, because it gains you life in a control deck. We all know how good that is. We've also got a little bit of life gain through the -2 on the Wandering, the -2 on the Wandering Emperor. Some sweepers. Got to play some sweepers in your control deck, so Supreme Verdict can't be counted. Seems to be the consensus that this is the best one to be running in your 4-drop slot. But I just cut one and put in a single copy of Settle the Wreckage. I mean, for those of you who haven't seen this card yet, holy cannoli. It was in my only other Explorer video from like 6 months ago or something, when I played Gear Hulk, Azorius Flash, and this is a 4-of in that one. instant speed sweeper. Hell yeah. The only downside really is that, you know, sometimes the advantage that a control deck can have over an opponent is that you have the mana advantage. You try to get whatever little bit of advantage that you can before you can pull off your late game plan, which is when then the control deck finally takes over. But you need to get there, right? And if you have the mana advantage, you don't want your, you know, maybe your opponents can't find their fourth land or whatever, and that's a good place to keep your opponent. And then if you settle the wreckage, they may have swinged in with like 3-4 creatures in their aggro deck, and now you've given them 3-4 lands from their library, and the next turn they could finally do their more busted stuff. So that's why I've just only got the 1 of and 3 of the Supreme Verdict. Then we're drawing cards with the Deluge, we're drawing cards with the cycling from Censor, we're drawing cards with cycling from Shark Typhoon, but most importantly we're drawing cards with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. I've heard said that it's in contention for like one of the better planeswalkers, especially in Azorius colors ever made, and I get to see why. I've pulled the emblem off a few times and it's super fun. So it's 5 mana, you can +1 to draw a card. At the beginning of the next end step, you untap up to 2 lands. So you almost always get to leave, and that's why I was saying I want another Dovin's Veto, because the type of thing that the opponent's going to be casting the next turn that can deal with your Teferi would be a non-creature spell, most probably, and so I would like to have more of those. But again, often by the time you play Teferi, you'll have, you know, untapping those 2 will still have 1 extra, so you'll have 3 mana open for an absorb. But just something to think about. Then the -3 is not terrible, but I don't do it often because I really want to ultimate this thing. But you can put a non-land permanent 3rd from the top in the opponent's library. But the -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent and opponent controls. It doesn't say non-land permanent. You can start just taking out their lands. You can start taking anything, any permanent. Whenever you draw a card at the beginning of your turn, exile the next thing, and you know that ends games pretty quickly. People just scoop it up at that point. It's once you ultimate Teferi, people just quit. But that can't be our only win con. So we've also got a full playset of Shark Typhoon for those of you not playing during Ikoria. Incredible card, because the cycling doesn't just draw you a card, it also makes this big flying shark thing at instant speed uncounterable because it's a cycling. It's not, you know, you're not casting anything. So, you know, you can dump all your mana and make X and 2 and make a huge flyer at the opponent's end step, untap and swing for the win. But you can also just hard cast the thing, and then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make an XX shark token that's that size as the mana value, and you know that you can have multiple Shark Typhoons. I've had some crazy, you know, board states with some Shark Typhoons. And that's our second win con, but it's not all. We've also got a sneaky one of Hall of the Storm Giants in the mana base. You can also, of course, just hit the opponent with some Samurais from Wandering Emperor and Kaheera. But the mana base is a good one. Also, we've got Castle Ardenvale, which also makes little humans. Great chump blockers when you just need Teferi to survive one more turn. We've got Eiganjo, we've got Otawara as usual, 1 Castle Vantress, which gives you Scry for 4, lots of nice utility, and a sneaky one of Raugrin was just a way to get some additional cycling, 3 Field of Ruins, all the myriad of creature lands. I mean, I feel like we've got most things covered in the deck, and I can see why control mages like it, and why it's actually quite a force to be reckoned with in Explorer. So I think I've done enough yammering at this point, and I think it's about time that we jump into some games. What did I do to deserve that? Alright. Maybe I fiddled with some numbers. Oh, let's go. Not even David. Well, who are you then, bro? Yep. Cool. Mono white aggro. We need sweeper ASAP. Mono white humans. I'll take 2. Let's see if he has the protection spell. Okay. Absorb is now up for his Adeline. And we found our 4th land. That's also problematic for a control deck, so I'll happily counter that too. Go for blue or white? Blue? There's no non-creature spells in this deck though, so maybe that's why no Dovin Veto. Wow. It ain't the Spellbinder. Will he pick Typhoon? No. Cool. Gotta fire it off now. Oof. He'll probably pick the Supreme Verdict. Would be my thinking. Takes the Shark Typhoon, huh? Wouldn't mind an extra land or 2. Behind on mana to an aggro deck. Okay. They usually play that spell that I was playing in the aggro deck. Woohoo. Can't play Teferi now. So let's play the land and... Oh, whoops. That was a misclick. Okay. In that case, he needs 5 lands to turn on the cave. He found the land. He's gonna kill Teferi. He won't. Now we can Supreme Verdict. I guess no, we can't.
You know what? I'm not done.
Woohoo! Okay. We can make a 1/1 shark. And we can Wandering Emperor. Does our Teferi die? Let's see. I think I'm gonna leave it. Can either do that. probably turn on the cave now, though. Yeah. Alright, so we take out, what? The cave. And the Dauntless Bodyguard if he swings with it. No swing.
Run away. You'll be safer.
Fired it off before because I want him to target. Now he has to pick with the Adeline counter which one he wants to target.
My judgment is final.
Oh no, I don't have enough mana. Okay, okay, cool. That's fine. At least he picked what I hope he picked.
I'll be back.
Hurry.
And that's not helping us with Adeline. Ooh. Biggest shark. I like. I can make a 2/2. Or I can cast Wandering Emperor now. Alright. Got there in the end. Ah, Wandering Emperor. What a card. I don't know why he conceded. A little bit of a... I don't know. Sad loser. That was great. Alright. On to the next one. Free gold. Nice. I liked the temple on turn 1. Later in the game it sucks, so... It's already 3 mana. We've got a counterspell. We got Tef. We got the sweeper. We got the scry. I like it. We're on the play. Nah, we will keep the verdict. I was playing what appears to be some Mardu. Give him the old shaky fisty man. Yeah. White. Next, absorb at the ready. 4th land found for the Emperor. It's crazy that there's no better card than Fateful Absence for that slot. Fatal Push. I don't want no more blood tokens for you, mate. If I play Sheoldred now, would be nice. Something that costs 5 mana. Okay, then we go with the Emperor.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it. We must protect the people.
Cool.
Let your blade do the talking.
I won't hide from the world any. You know what? I'm not done.
Tef is in the house. 3 mana at the ready. Boop, 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 boop. Fine. Fatal push away. 5 mana spell. Ooh, come on, baby. Looks like he's trying to reanimate something. Nah. Okay, that's also good. We'll probably swing for the Emperor. Yeah. That's fine.
See you later.
Let's skip to the good part.
It's a big Shark Typhoon. Could hardcast Typhoon and still have 3 mana open for March. Yes. And we can discard Supreme Verdict to do a pretty big one if we need to. Oh, sorry. It's not 3, it's 2. 3 mana. Mana value 2 or less. The little 3/3 Sharky boy. Bye-bye! Chance for glory. What does that... Ooh. So what? That's it. He loses the game. What? Okay. Okay. Cool, man. Fancy way for suicide. I guess you cast that when you know you're gonna win the next game, next turn, no matter what. And you have like 1 in your deck. Nice. I'm kind of hoping, kind of dreading that we have a mirror, because the last one was very, very skill intensive and a nightmare to play, but I won it and it felt fantastic. So I'm kind of hoping we run into a mirror and I can hopefully pull that off a second time. I really felt like I outplayed the opponent. I'm really looking forward to getting some, oh god, some of the other lands from the new set. Like, is it aggro, like with the shock lands? Has been quite eh. The fast lands would be nice. What's this thing do? Just Death Touch Lifelink. Okay. It's a vampire deck, I'm assuming. Donk! I'll either kill some big thing that he plays on turn 4, like Shelly. Need another white source for the verdict. But we can do this. Whoop. Beautiful Godzilla land. White. Now Emperor's active. What's this one do again? Fine. So it's mono black devotion. Pretty scary. Now it makes sense.
I think we're ready to guards to me.
Probably Shark Typhoon. Burn that removal.
We must protect the people.
Just gonna hit me with that graveyard dude or something like ETBs. Ooh.
Until next time, then.
Second
May your
Shelly
blade
down.
strike true.
Another fatal push. It's like every single deck that plays black has Thoughtseize. There he is. That's the guy I was talking about. The merchant. Gary. Let's get rid of you. Well, that's a little bit frustrating. Eight loyalty. You. Okay. That's annoying as well. Wow. Just wow.
We must protect.
There he is.
Let's slow this. No time for a break.
Land would have been nicer.
May your blade strike true.
Another Gary does 6 to face. Or is it any target? Yeah, no. 6 to me. Okay. It's a lot of loyalty. Let's get another card. Give me something good. Wow, just... Wow. Not the most incredible top decks. Pardon me.
We need to move quickly.
Try not to miss. Keep watch for intruders.
It's okay. We can cycle. Untap. Pardon me. Wow. Fan off. Sure. This is when you wonder why there isn't a I mean, I just got a ulti Teferi. Okay, I think we should take out Niktas.
Let's skip to the good part.
Go for blue source. Untap everything. Woohoo! What a planeswalker. Gain 3 is nice. That sucks. That does suck. Well played. Oh, man. Not going well, this one. I'm trying to think what's our way out without, like, farewell. And now that we've lost Tef. I think, considering they're probably not playing Invoke Despair, we can hard cast Shark Typhoon. Okay. There's options. You could have Pyrika's Libation. There's a few things, even now in Standard, that other than Invoke Despair, but ho 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 ho.
Of battle, then guide it like water.
Nice.
I am almost sad to see you go.
They must be drawing a little ahead of us. We were also drawing quite a bit when we had Tef down. Okay.
New moves to teach you.
We just deck the opponent. I've still got no idea what they're trying to do here. Exactly. I haven't played against Mono Black Devotion. Like, what do they use all that mana for? Okay. Sure. Make a token with Wandering Emperor to play something like Liliana.
Guards, to me.
And I'm gonna hardcast another Shark Typhoon. Bloodfest. I don't mind. This is their, like, anti...
Remember your training.
Anti Greasefang tech for the deck. Nice, very nice, very long. We've pretty much arrived at the usual 45-minute mark, but I think I want to just push on through and play one more. I risk a lot because that's a nice win rate and a good showing, but I really wanted to ulti Tef, and that well-timed Murderous Knight was really a thorn in my side. I think I'm going to just leave it at that. I don't want to go too long with this one. I still want to get caught up with today's spoilers in preparation for the incoming spoiler talk episode. So, jumping back into the deck with my final thoughts and overall review. As you can see, it's pretty disgusting. It's your usual sort of control deck stuff. It always felt like somehow we had the answer to most of the things that came at us, either in hand or ready, you know, to draw into. Even with just a couple Memory Deluge, there's enough card draw with the +1, with the various cycling cards. I found it to be just fine. And the one more Dovin's Veto, I leave that to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I find Jwari just being dead so often. And the mana was okay. To the point where we could just cut one potential tapped land and put in another really good counterspell, especially again in the mirror. Let me know your thoughts. But that's all I've got for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You don't get to see the Lone Fox play much control. And that is also going to be it for this little Explorer mini-series. I have been brewing like crazy for Standard as well on the side. So I've got some really sweet things lined up that'll hopefully keep the boredom at bay between now and April 18th when March of the Machine hits Arena. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're getting so close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I would really like to get there. Sooner rather than later. Of course, as you know, a big giveaway will be triggered at that point. So subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.